Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I've got a good one for you, buddy. Got a good one for you.
Can everyone hear us right now?
Say that again.
I think people can hear us right now.
They can?
I think so.
Well, have you gone live?
We're live, but I've got the starting soon, and it used to mute us during that. I think so.
Yes, people. Yeah, they can hear us. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me switch to the to this one then. There we are. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know why that was doing that. They changed things around on me on Restream, and it used to, when I would go to certain things, it would mute, and now it's not muting. So I don't get it. I am drinking my coffee out of my Veterans Before Illegals coffee mug. So that's available at veterannationfoundation.com. You can go there. You can support us and all the things that we do. Good morning, Spawn Trooper.
Yeah. Good morning. How are you? I've just received my new coffee. I've just made myself a coffee. Good morning. Good morning. Buongiorno. Salam alaikum. Konnichiwa. Oh, today is going to be a good one.
I am ordering Indies coffee. Hopefully today, if I get to it. I had a very busy day yesterday. I was driving all over town, and if you saw this morning, I was down in San Bernardino yesterday, and I did get a dash cam video of San Bernardino. I'll say a fire truck, but it wasn't a fire truck like you think a fire truck. It's a truck for the fire department. Just straight up cut me off on a blinking red light. He was not running code, no lights, no siren, and just straight cut me off. So I was like, well, that's another video for the channel.
Yeah, and also he's off the Christmas list, so he'll get his card, but he won't get the Christmas present.
You know, I will forgive him a little bit because northeast of San Bernardino is where the line fire is, and that's, if I walk outside right now, it smells like a campfire because all the smoke is coming east, and it's been nice here because all the smoke is making it cooler, but it has reduced the air quality, and it just smells like a campfire. But they tend to evacuate a lot here.
Just to make absolute one thing, am I coming through clear, loud, and understandable? No? Don't need a interpreter? No?
You sound good to me.
Good, because I've got some news for you, and it's
Oh.
called the Otter Gate Scandal of 2024, or as normal people and mortals will say, 2024.
I'm going to put in my headphones just so I can hear you better. It's nothing with your audio. I just want to turn you up. It'll cause a effect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't want. But I've got a little bit of an update for everybody.
You've been a little
Yes, I
bookworm
do.
studying. I've noticed.
Yeah, yes, I have. I've been doing my due diligence. I've been putting my nose in an American legal system, and even spoke to someone. But obviously, we'll come to that in a bit. Now, if I may take the floor for a second, and let you know. How can I put this? Okay. Mandy Pandy, I wish I got a letter, but no one loves me that much. But anyway, we digress. Right. As you are fully aware, I have confronted, or not confronted, but I have, under the copyright. Oh, wait a minute. What's it called again? Please hold. Your call is important to me. Let me just make sure that I'm getting this right. So if you just bear, here we go. I'm just going to very quickly read this out. Right. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, report, and teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. So, ladies and gentlemen, today you're going to be hearing from me criticism, comments, news report, education, and research. Everyone understand that? Any questions, complaints, or concerns? No? Good. Let's carry on. Right.
I plead the fifth.
Damn you, I was about to say that. No, take that away, my thunder. I'm sad now. Anyway, right. For people who have been reading in certain Facebook groups, they have noticed that I have been requesting a response from His Almighty Esquire Bruce, you know who, and without any joy. The only response I got from him, which he edited, was the fact that he wrote the message on that GoFundMe to support the beneficiaries. Now, the problem is Mr. Matskin has been in this since April, March of this year. Also on MLB Jabba the Hutt's site, he's also stated that he received an email, or multiple people received an email from Bruce. Not that sure if that's true or not. That's speculation.
I got one.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's speculation. Good morning, Jen. All right. Anyway, so over the last few weeks, I'd say about 2.5, 3 weeks plus, I've been asking a question about the GoFundMe. So I decided to do some little digging. I also decided, due to the fact that the level of unprofessionalism and the behavior of this individual gentleman, I decided to look into the ABA, which is the American American Bar Association, which deals with obviously the model rules of practice of the professional conduct of lawyers. I also was in contact with the Connecticut Bar Association and also Massachusetts Bar Association. I actually spoke to the Connecticut one for about 30 minutes. It was actually an interesting, very, very interesting conversation, which I am going to keep redacted because obviously that's an ongoing thing. Anyway, so going back to the messages, I gave attorney Bruce Maskin every opportunity and every chance for him to respond in regards to the GoFundMe. And this carried on, and basically people were trying to deflect and everything else. And I said, listen, at the end of the day, it is 100% proved that Landon Preston, did not or has no doing of that GoFundMe. That's what Landon Preston is stating. And there is a recording to that effect. So obviously, going off that, there's only a couple of people who will have access to that, and that will be obviously Bruce or Lynette or both. However, now the thing is, if you go onto any type of website, ladies and gentlemen, please take note of this. You may now learn something about cybersecurity. If you go onto a website of any type of website and you sign up to any type of website, on that website, they will see your username, your email address, and then also your IP address. Okay. And the thing is, if you sign in to, say, like Facebook, for example, but you are like in France or in Germany or something like that, okay, and you log into your Facebook account, what will happen is that you will receive a email address stating that someone is logged into your account at this IP address, at this location, on this browser, and it will give you all the information of basically where you signed in. It's basically like an extra security thing for people. Now, GoFundMe is a website, so they will have exactly that. Now, for anyone, if, say, for example, if a legal representative wanted to find out who's been logging into that GoFundMe account, that's exactly what they can subpoena. That's what they can go for.
Yep.
All right. So lo and behold, keep on going. I put messages up. I'm not trying to bully, or I'm trying to intimidate or anyone or Bruce in any way, shape, or form. All I want is an answer. It's just like if I say to Mike, do you have your bouquet pouper sitting next to you so you can go for a pouper later?
I have used Les Bouquets Pauper 3 times already during the stream.
Good man. Good man. You need to see a doctor because normally a normal. Sorry, go on.
For all the other Bouquet Paupers in the chat, let us know what type of bucket is your preference to shit in.
Yeah. Anyway, so right. So obviously,
hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Lucas just put, my lawyer just fell down.
My lawyer just fell down. Oh, pick him up, then, for God's sake, pick him up. Right. Anyway, so it gets very interesting. So the other night, I got informed through a source to go and have a look at the 2 twins of disaster. And lo and behold, I have not seen anybody post in regards to the ABA about any type of rules of conduct, anything except me in a certain group, in a certain Facebook group. Lo and behold, I then go and check and I look and I listen. All right. And I go back because apparently it was said somewhere before. So I go back to that timestamp and lo and behold, attorney Bruce Matskin, Kilnose, okay, not just only mentions me by name, but also starts talking about professional conduct, about the ABA, and also mentions the GoFundMe, all in the same breath. So I believe that yours truly has hit a nerve, because he never mentioned this until I mentioned it. But we digress. So I again ask him, hey, look, I want to know what's going on with this GoFundMe, because if Landon Preston has stated categorically 100% that he's got nothing to do with this, who has? Hello, What the hell? Nice to meet you, Jeremy. Just so you know, I have a little bit of your video. So if you're listening to this, please just stand by because you'll figure it out. Because you are now going to be involved in this now that I know that here. Anyway, so you know what I'm like, Mike. I'm like a fucking bloodhound after a bone. When something happens, I'm after. That's it. It's like targets marked. I'm gone. So I'm reading through all this. I'm going through all the rules of the ABA rules. I'm going through all the. I'm going through all the laws and everything about the conduct of an attorney. Now he's broken about a dozen of those. Well, half a dozen. Let's not give him too much credit. Him mentioning me. Him mentioning certain comments that I brought out in post. This GoFundMe and everything else. Lo and behold, I sent Landon Preston a message. It wasn't read. No one has seen that message because you get an indicator when someone's read a message on Facebook. The same night, I check the GoFundMe, and that GoFundMe has suddenly been closed down. So 2.5 weeks, I am asking the question about the GoFundMe. I sent Landon Preston a message in Facebook yesterday, which I can prove. I can prove everything I've done. And then last night or this morning, early hours US time, the GoFundMe gets closed down. So here's my argument to this. Landon Preston was lying to Jeremy in that phone call called she's called the cops on we've called the cops on her, or I can't remember the exact title. Okay,
they called the cops on it.
Yeah, you called the cops on it. Now Jeremy, I mean, like, I'm not gonna blow smoke under your ass, or I'm not gonna pat on back. But the thing is, the conversation, okay, through the whole conversation, Landon and the way the conversation was going on, Landon was, beat this, beat that, and he was talking naturally as an 18-year-old. But the minute Jeremy turned around, he said, "What about this GoFundMe?" Landon lost it. He got angry. And you can tell the difference between an 18-year-old being a dick, pardon my French, and getting angry. And he got angry. Now, I put the timestamp of every single part of that GoFundMe conversation between Jeremy and Landon in that post I made on that Facebook. Every single dot. All right. Bruce had every chance to respond. He didn't. And then suddenly the GoFundMe gets closed down. Me thinks there's BS at foot, my dear sir. I think le bouquet français, le bouquet poupée is overfilling, monsieur. But there you go. That is the Ottergate Scandal 2024. I am your reporter. I'm your reporter over the internet. No, but I rest my case, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, mesdames and messieurs, I rest my case. There you go.
So I've had a bunch of people the last couple days hit me up with a bunch of things. I see we have AVA who's in line at Dutch Brothers. Everyone should go check out his channel.
Yes,
he's got a recent video of him not being allowed into a government building because his sign was too big. But I do want to talk about this, if I can pull these documents. Let me get them ready.
And can I, while you're doing that, can I just say hello to What the Hell's and just pray, guys. Just pray, dude.
Absolutely.
Just pray. I mean, at the end of the day, two wrongs don't make a right. We've all got emotions that sometimes overflow. But I am so glad all that frustration left me. Right, it just left me when I questioned the attorney, and the attorney couldn't have the balls or the spine to communicate with me, and then it turns out that I may have been right about that GoFundMe, because that GoFundMe gets closed down.
Yep.
Sherlock Holmes, Mr. Watson. Yes, we have more investigations.
So, oh wait, this is not the one that I want. Where's the one that I want? Nope. I'm gonna stop screen share. It's not the one that I want.
Not the one he wants, ladies and gentlemen. Please carry on. Entertainment will start.
Not the one that I want.
It's the one I want.
I hate that song. I hate that super song.
Mate, we're both old enough that we watched it. Yeah.
Oh, actually, all right.
But why are you doing that? Can I ask you a question?
That was the right one. Yeah. Go ahead.
Quick question. All right. I know you're probably going to plead the fifth on this, or the sixth, or the fourth, depends what. How are you doing? I mean, apparently you were supposed to have a nervous breakdown.
Oh, sorry.
Well, easy, Tiger. I told you that. I told you last night not to discuss this in public. And it's not 6 inches. Sorry, what? It's a 2 inches. It's 2 inches, sir. It's 2 inches.
2-inch pipe.
2-inch pipe. Yeah, there you go. 2 inches from the ground. Yeah, sorry.
So a lot of you have reached out to me about the that Bruce. This is it right here. I'm going to do his motion. I'm not going to go through all of the case law of his footnotes that he's citing because I really haven't had a chance to read them all. Like I said, I've had a busy couple days here, but I did want to present this to you and at least go through the motion. And here's the thing. A lot of people are getting very wrapped around the axle. He, as a lawyer, has to do these things. He has to summary judgment. He has to put all these. If you want to call him a crazy motion, you can. I don't. I would say these are more routine than anything. When you hire an attorney, you want them to give you the best and vigorous defense, and he's mounting a vigorous defense. So I'll say, good on him. He's doing this. So this is motion.
Quick question.
So let's just go through it. It's just a one-pager. Yeah, go ahead.
My question is this. This is probably why I'm getting a little bit confused in regards of who's representing who. You've got Sean Martin, you've got Scott Stark, whose Facebook is just fantastic to read. And then you got Bruce. I thought Bruce is a pro hack vice. I'm sorry. Bruce is not an action. He's not actually sort of represented. He is a pro hack vice. Therefore, he is someone who sits in the background and assists the other two or the main solicitor. Is that correct? Or because it's getting a little bit confusing because how many lawyers has she got and how much money is she paying out, which she hasn't got, by the way.
It's yes and no. That's kind of the answer. Like because he's been accepted by the judge, Scott could just not show and Bruce take everything from this point, and it's perfectly okay. I know a lot of people have kind of focused on that, Florida bar and stuff like that. He's a licensed attorney in the United States. All he has to do is petition the court to represent in Florida. Sometimes they make you do a little educational thing, which I think they did make him do, and the court has already accepted him. Now, here's the thing. If you have an attorney who's not experienced in federal court, like Bruce is not experienced in federal court, you're kind of taking a risk. Federal court does have different rules. Now, they're not crazy rules, but they could, and I've seen lawyers in other cases, they're used to their set of rules. They go into another state or they go into federal court. They're not used to those rules. They're not used to the terminology because sometimes the terminology changes, and it can be a little bit of a learning curve. I don't care one way or another. I'm like, hey, do what you need to do. That's on you. So, people.
But my question is this, Mike.
There's going to be a lot of these. Yeah.
But my question is this: if we were sitting in an old group, okay, and we were discussing someone, but there's 3 people representing that individual or those individuals. There's three lawyers. You have to have a lead lawyer. You would have to have like a leader, a secondary, and probably a stand-in. Now, the way I see it, he has been doing a lot. There's hardly anything is coming from Stark or Martin, but there's a lot coming from him. So what is it? Is he trying to push himself into this as a lead lawyer, or they just turn around and say, hey, do you know what, Bruce? You've got the energy. You crack on.
Honestly, it really doesn't
See,
matter.
this is right. Okay. All right.
And I'll give you a very famous example was the O.J. Simpson trial. When they very early on were doing filings and whatnot, one of the prosecutors had a heart attack in the courtroom. And then had to totally leave the case, and that's when Marcia Clark brought in Christopher Darden. And it's once you're accepted to the court, and if there's a lawyer in the chat, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I've been around enough. Once you're accepted by the court, that attorney can be the lead attorney. Even though on paper they're not the lead attorney, they can be the ones doing all the stuff. But it's not really a requirement. And I don't think we're going to see much out of Scott at all. I think it's going to be the Bruce show from here on out. I think Scott is just going to fade in the background. He was there to help them get the initial filings, get everything set up. And now Bruce is going to take over. So that's not going to, I don't see that as any type of people are trying to think it is.
Right. I mean, that there, what you're showing there now, this document, he must have put on a docket and then went straight onto YouTube Live and started discussing it, which I found very unprofessional.
I mean, as with Tug and Megan have been discussing, he's pretty much telling everybody what his strategy is, which with your strategy, everybody, if you are in any type of battle, legal, military, whatever, you want to do what we call look at the red cell. Pretty much you turn that map around and you say, okay, I'm the enemy now. Here's the things I'm going to do. If they're giving you their strategy, you don't have to do that. And I'll give you another American military term, the OODA loop. The OODA loop it's a loop that a couple Air Force pilots where it's orient, observe, decide, and act. And that the natural process someone goes through in decision making. And if you can make your OODA loop faster than the other guys, you're going to be able to respond to his stuff way faster than he is. It's like chess. You get to move several spaces ahead and prepare for everything that they're doing. And, Bruce, the dumbest thing Bruce is doing is going on podcasts and talking about the case. Dumbest thing that he's doing.
Yeah. So what does it say in this document then?
Judgment. Pretty much summary judgment is saying there's no case here. This is dismissed. Bruce, as to be a good attorney, he does have to do this stuff. So people mad about these things. I'll give you an example. Trump is writing a case, the J6 case with Chutkin. They're doing motions for summary judgment right now, saying this.
Mike, your connection is a bit iffy. Just so you know.
It might just be the it might just be the Verizon, because I've got a full Christmas lights are lit up on my voice is breaking up.
Roger that. I just want to give you a heads up on that, just in case, mate.
Okay. Yeah, on my end, everything looks good. But we'll go through this. So this is just your basic motion for summary judgment. I don't expect the judge to actually rule for summary judgment. Most times, I would say 90% of these just kind of the judge says, no, we're going to go through trial. We're going to look at the evidence. So memorandum in support of summary judgment on counts 1 and 2. Statement of material facts. The plaintiff has no evidence that defendant Preston wrote the signs alleged in paragraph 28 of the complaint or any signs about the plaintiff. The plaintiff has no evidence that defendant Cook wrote the signs alleged in paragraph 28 of the complaint or any signs about the plaintiff. Assuming that the plaintiff could somehow produce evidence creating a genuine issue of fact as to whether either defendants wrote any of the signs. There is no evidence the signs were placed around the roads surrounding Hale's property in Levy County, Florida. Assuming the plaintiff could somehow produce evidence creating genuine issues of facts as to whether the defendants wrote the signs and whether the signs were placed around the roads. Now I'm going to go to the next one.
That makes no sense. Oh, sorry.
That is all that I have of that motion for right now. This is all the case law that he's citing.
Right. I mean, that's already debunked. I mean, that's already debunked because there is proof that those signs were.
Well, what we're going to have is testimony by Zim and Madam Mayor and Brett Granger, who are all going to say, nope, they were placed around town. We took them down. So there will be evidence presented. And this is a motion being made. Jeremy's side is going to say, oh, no, we intend to on this stuff. And the judge is going to say, okay, your motion's denied. We're going to present the evidence. The reason why Bruce is doing this, and if you're watching the deposition, you keep hearing, other than Randy Shockett, who, by the way, Randy Shockett now has a military call sign. Do you know what it is? Do you know what his military call sign is now?
The fifth? No, I for some reason I've seen it somewhere, but I can't bloody remember where.
No, I am giving him a call sign. It is again, because he just keeps saying again.
I mean, like yes. Now that makes a lot of sense. Yes, I'm going to say this publicly. I watched the videos of the deposition. Thank you for putting that up, by the way, Mr. Hales. And I don't want to say this because I don't want to be biased, but if Randy, if you're watching this and you're hearing this, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. But yeah, again, is the best call sign you will ever have, my friend. Randy, again, rock it. That's perfect. That's perfect. Oh God! But I mean, let me ask you another question. When I was watching that, she would state, "I plead the fifth." Now, from what I understand about your Americanese over there, translated into proper King's English, of course. When you plead the fifth, that means you stop talking, correct?
So, yes and no. You can plead the fifth to individual questions, or you can plead the fifth in general. Like you can, to a whole line of questioning, if you're brought in, you can be like, I intend to plead the fifth to every question that they're going to ask me. And it just saves the court's time. And then the court can say, okay, you can go on. But this is a civil case. And it's not a criminal case. So you have Fifth Amendment protections, but when you plead the fifth, pretty much it's like saying you're not going to give testimony about the civil hearing, and the judge can just dismiss it, which is absolutely what should have happened in that case. The moment she pled the fifth on anything, the judge should have said, okay, because there's like, and again, if there's any lawyers in the chat, please correct me on the term. There's a term out there for like defamation and harassment, meaning if you're harassing me or defaming me, if I start doing the same thing on you, we're getting into a tit for tat, and that means I can't bring a case against you because I'm doing the same conduct that you're doing, and it all gets tossed out. And that's, she's mad and saying that she's being harassed, but she's doing harassing behaviors even in that deposition. So all of her stuff should be thrown out. The moment she pleads the fifth, Jeremy should, and Attorney Shockett, I do know, did the same thing, motion for summary judgment, and said, she pled the fifth, Your Honor. We can't get answers to these questions. This whole thing needs to be tossed out because by her pleading the fifth, she's actually limiting Jeremy's defense of being able to say, no, she's doing a tit for tat. There's a legal term for it. I can't remember what it is. I know when I hear it, I'll feel like an idiot.
Right, because the thing is, what I find quite interesting, I don't know if anyone else has noticed it, and Jeremy, I hopefully you have. But the thing is, in her deposition, she pleads the fifth, but in the phone call that was edited and then put on a certain YouTube channel, she was talking like a dicky bird. I mean, if you'd have taken her into a mine, you would trust me. If there was gas or not, you'd have still heard her. So I find that a little bit hypocritical. And also in that deposition, she richly shot herself in the foot a couple of times. She would answer, plead the fifth, and then answer again, and then shoot herself in the foot, and then change. I mean, you could richly make. I mean, you can't make this up. I'm sorry, but you can't make this up.
She didn't want to answer to any of the things that she's done. She only wants, and this is common of someone with a narcissistic disorder. Which many people with Munchausen by proxy have a narcissistic disorder, where you have to be held accountable for everything. I'm not accountable for anything. And that's exactly what you're seeing with her. And which is why I've been saying for the longest time, she doesn't need a lawyer. She needs a therapist.
Yeah, I think she definitely needs to talk to someone professional because, like, look, I don't hate anybody, but if I see someone in that condition, they not just need to talk to someone professionally, but they also need to talk to someone who deals with anger management. Because I mean, if she's like this, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, even in her deposition, like when they were talking about John in the road, she still doesn't she hasn't wrapped her mind around the fact that Jeremy has a right to travel down the road. If they're in the road, it doesn't matter that they were there. They have to leave and vacate. I don't know if she's ever learned this, because you saw that they came to the town council and refused to leave and were saying we were her first. Doesn't matter. You're not the restrained party.
Isn't it different at the property though? Isn't there like a different restriction at the property? Because obviously, if they're on their property, isn't it 10 foot or 50 foot or something like that?
If they're on their property, yeah, then it goes from 500 feet down to 10 feet because you have a right to be on your property. But the court is still trying to de-escalate things, so that's why there's the 10-foot rule. But you saw in the video, John made no. Like, had he been walking to his property and could have said, well, I've got a bum knee, I'm just slow, I'm sure the Ohio court would have said, okay, yeah, Jeremy, he was moving towards his property. He was attempting to get out. Obviously, medical things did it, but he made zero attempt. In fact, as Jeremy is correct, her video incriminated them even further because she kept saying, you're all right, John. You're all right, John. Like, these are not. What was that Disney show about the stupid criminals? I want to say the Apple Dumpling Gang, but it wasn't the Apple Dumpling Gang.
The Stooges?
No, this is like an old 1960s. It was like a gang, like the Dalton Gang, but they were all a bunch of idiots. That's John, Lynette, this whole crew. Yeah, they think these very incorrect legal things. And, at that point, she had an attorney, if I remember. Oh, wait, no, not of that incident, but definitely at the one at Town Hall. She could have easily texted her lawyer and said, here's what the situation is. And I guarantee you Silverman would have been like, get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there immediately.
I mean, the thing I can't get around my head. I mean, I'm extremely clever in certain parts. Well, that's what the wife says anyway. But what gets me is the fact that if I say, right, hypothetically speaking, you turn around to me and said, I can't be within 500 feet of you, and if you come into the area, I have to leave. Now, somewhere down the line, it states, well, if you're like some law enforcement and that, so, well, that person was already here, blah, 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 and all that stuff. However, if you, by law, like Jeremy mentioned at one point, it says it's not state, it's federal law. So therefore, it covers the whole of the United States. So regardless of where you are, if you are within 500 feet of that individual who's put the injunction out on you, you have to vacate that area. Is that correct? Is that correct what I'm thinking? So if that's correct, why is it that on multiple occasions they were told and instructed, this is what's going on, this is what you need to do, but they still ignored it?
Uh, Primarily because they haven't faced any consequences. So that's part of the Levy County Sheriff violating the 14th Amendment, which I've been very vocal about. When there's no consequences, does the law apply? And we're all entitled to equal protection under the law. And the Levy County Sheriff was violating the 14th Amendment as it applied to Jeremy and George. George was never restrained by anything, and she was at town hall. They should have made him leave, but that one deputy making that false call of, well, I don't know if this is real.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't know if it's real, you shouldn't be making the call. If you're, you should be, as a law enforcement officer, if you are unsure if something's a legal document, you should be trying to find out, if it's a legal document.
But something else I noticed as well. Funny you bring that up about the town hall and about George, because I had to watch that 3 times, because somewhere, don't ask me where, because there's so many bloody videos out there, even like my head spins. And at one point it was spinning that bad, I could have been the stunt double for that girl who was in The Exorcist, where her head went around in 360, because the injunction is out on them too. George is sitting there in her car. They call everybody. You got Tom Collins, that absolute pleb, right? Trying to, one of them. but here's what gets me. She stated and said that she was going to be put onto the council and that John Cook was going to get a job at the town hall. Where's the proof of that? Where's the invite? Where's the job application? Where's the actual evidence of him getting a job there and her being put on the council?
This is where this is going to get good, because the only proof was Russ the Sauce saying, okay, yeah, that was gonna happen. They have a right to be here. Well, guess what? That will be used. Russ is gonna be called to testify. He's not gonna have a choice. If he's smart, he will talk to an attorney who will tell him to plead the fifth. Because what was happening is Lynette and John were breaking the law. Russ lied for them, which makes him an accomplice. So Russ, they all should be charged for that, and Russ should be charged as an accomplice. If he's smart, he'll talk with an attorney before he does any type of any type of testimony. But I don't know if Russ is that smart.
I mean, yeah, like Russ the Sauce. I love that bloody name he gave him, Russ the Sauce. Suspicious subject.
I see we have either Jeremy or George in the chat, and they say Russ the Sus will be the first federal deposition.
Oh, nice. I can't wait to hear that. But on Russ, in regards of Russ, there's 2 things I noticed. When I look, I'm going to be honest with you, Jeremy or George, you're watching. I know you're here. I'm going to say this, okay? I've followed you for 6-7 years. Okay, I enjoyed the coin tossing and you guys going on about all the coin towers and that, and the storage and stuff like that. But when all this started with your water meter and everything, that's when I really got interested. Now, there's things that I've noticed about Russ. Russ was in court when Lynette was in court, and he was sitting behind her. I clocked that straight away. I didn't even wait for Jeremy to mention that. I clocked that instantly. Now, here's my speculation, and this is speculation only, is that when all this started with the water thing about the 2-inch pipe, ladies and gentlemen, 2 inches, yeah, not 1, not 3, 2, okay? When this started with the 2 inches, oh God, when this started with the when this started with the water issue and everything, well, I got that 2 inches in my head now. Sorry, Jeremy. Sorry, mate. When all this water crap started, don't make me laugh. I'm trying to be serious, mate. Start it.
I plead the fifth.
You better plead the fifth again. Anyway, right. So when all this started with the water thing, there was not a peep. You know, but Lynette would come into the Lynette. She would come in, and then yes, Jeremy. You know, I mean, you noticed that there was something in the air, and then suddenly it all kicked off. All right. Now, when two people argue, yeah, you don't pick sides. You look at both sides, right? But the problem was there was more people involved in this, and Ross stood out like a sore freaking thumb. He stood out like a crack whore on a pole dancing competition.
Again, it's because they've allowed people to get away with breaking the law, so they become more emboldened. They go further and further, and they think they're just never going to get caught. And that's what you saw with Russ. That's what you see with Lynette. That's what you see with John. I do want to thank the What the Hales for that exclusive, though. That Russ the Sauce will be the first deposition. You heard it here, Better Nation exclusive, courtesy of What the Hales.
Yeah, if I have to swim across the Atlantic just to sit in there freezing my nuts off just to listen to that deposition, I will swim. I swear to God, I will swim, because it's. I know what's going to happen. He is going to plead. Go on, say it. Go on, Mike. Say it. He's going to do it. He's going to.
I plead the fifth.
There you go. No, you need to do it in a more husky voice, mate. Like
my coffee just fell down.
Right. I mean, you can tell if you look at the. I mean, me and a couple of other people, right? We made a little sketch of little arrows pointing in different directions, and you can see the pattern. You can see how it all started, how it built up. You got Shah, aka Sharon Donato Austin, or Sarah Wolf Austin. Then you've got what's his name? There's a lot of people involved in this. And then obviously the other couple of weeks ago, when someone said that you're going to have a nervous breakdown, suddenly Mr. Hales decided to do a Houdini trick on everybody and appeared in Otter Creek and had been there for a week, which is absolutely awesome, by the way. You made me laugh. I nearly peed myself laughing when I saw you do that. It was awesome. So well done. POB for you, sir.
Do you think if Russ is watching this morning and he heard that he's going to be the first deposition, do you think he is going to be les poupées in les bouquets?
I think he's going to be having a mobile le bouquet poupée, monsieur. That's for sure. What gets me though is that
we're a high class show here, folks.
I know. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mike and Spawn show, where laughter is prominent. Oh, I can't fucking talk today. No, but going back to on the seriousness, Russ, he's done for, because he's made false allegations. He's made allegations against Madam Mayor, who I think is fantastic. Her heart's as big as herself. Right? You've got Travis, who's being attacked. His heart's as big as him. Deanna. I mean, all those people who helped Lloyd, for example, are genuinely the loving people you'll ever come across. And they're being attacked because they are the truthful people. Now, Ross and Don, I think Don should get deposed as well. I'll be honest with you. I think just for the giggles. I mean, not take it serious. Just put him through a deposition, just for the laughs, just for the lols. And then he'll get up and go, I don't want to play no more. I'm going home.
But we want our precious. We want it now. Please. Schmiegel, stop it. No, but we want our precious. We do.
Sorry, bad habit. I'll shut up. Go on, Mike. Over to you, Mike. Oh, back to the studio.
My service dog just fell down.
Wait a minute. I should be laughing at that one. Sorry.
This has just given us so much gold of content. Like,
I wonder if they got life preservers in a bullshit school. I'm sorry.
I do have to end the stream though, unfortunately, because I've got a couple things I got to get to this morning. It's primarily because we got these wildfires. My kid is out of school today because the air quality is so bad. So yeah, it's affecting everything. traffic's going to be all jacked up. Even out here in our rural area, yeah, we still get jacked up California traffic. I do want people to check out on the channel. I put up a dash cam video of me down in San Bernardino yesterday. If you weren't here earlier, I got cut off by a California fire, not a fire truck, but a fire truck, a truck for the fire department. And so, yeah, that video is out there. And I've got a couple other videos coming out. But Spawn, is there anything you want to talk about before we go?
Basically, this is a message to any British ex-veterans or anyone who is in a need for help and communication. You've got combat stress that you can communicate. You've got SAFA. And if you need to talk to someone, SAFA and combat stress are two of the best contacts to a phone and get some help. And remember, guys and girls, yeah, we all went through the same stuff. So don't be scared to... I know you got your pride and everything else, but don't be scared to give them a call and have a chat. Okay, they've got answers. So and to the what the hells, keep up your good work. Remember, you've got God on your side, so keep your chin up.
I will be watching this tonight, so I'll see you all in the stream. I will be watching that Umbrella Guy and Megan Fox with Larry talking about this. Thank you for putting up the link to Battle Buddies app. So anyone with a veteran who's struggling going through crisis, send them to the Battle Buddies app. They'll talk to another veteran, a mentor like myself, and we've been through it, so we can help them through whatever it is that they're going through. So thank you, a Veterans Affairs Media, and definitely go to Veterans Affairs Media's channel and check out his most recent video. He's dealing with some corruption in his VA up north, Northern California. So I'll be supporting him. It's crazy the stuff that he's been dealing with, and I've got some people wanting to help him, but we're going to try to get him an attorney as well. So go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing. I forgot it last time, but there's a charity out there that helps widows who unfortunately lost their partners in the Optelec and Opheric. That's what we call those operations. Optelec is Iraq and Opheric is Afghanistan, and they're called Scottish Heroes. Basically, I hope they're called Scottish Heroes. It's about they help the widows if they got children. That they help them out. But yeah, never suffer alone, guys and girls. Never suffer alone. All right.
They asked what time. It's not on that Umbrella Guys channel, so I'm not sure what time. But as we sign off, are you guys all up for rating another stream? Another Tug and Megan Fox supporter. So as we sign off, Squid Pro Quo, she's live right now. She's only got five people viewing right now. So everybody sign off, go into her. She is a military veteran. She's a big supporter of Tug and Megan Fox. So go jump in her stream live right now as we're going to sign off here. But Spawn Trooper, thank you for joining me, and thank you for all your research into what Bruce is doing.
Not a problem. At the end of the day, everything is public knowledge. I just done the digging, and I'm quite good at operating a JCB. So there you go.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and as usual, thank you for being worth serving.
Absolutely. You take care, guys.